Alrighty, hi, hello, welcome in for another comfy, cozy reading. I hope that you're comfy, I hope that you're cozy, and I hope that you're ready for a little reading. I'm not gonna lie, whoever I'm channeling, I feel like your energy is not the lightest right now. I feel like, if anything, you are being called to purge a lot. I feel like you may need to have like a really good cry. I sure did sending in this, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, I just right off the bat wanted to say I feel like you need to have a good cry. I would not be surprised if you had like a little, if you just like crashed out a little bit sometime soon or whatever. I feel like it's very necessary. I feel like you're coming to the end of something. I'm hearing End of the Beginning by Joe. That band could be significant because I am seeing them live in July and I'm feeling called to mention that. Or I'm seeing him live. It's him and Tame Impala. Joe's opening for them. Anywho, I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but that could be significant for you in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, I just feel like there's a lot that's being called to be felt at the moment because of whatever cycle you're coming to the end of. Whatever is coming to a close. I'm hearing like chapter, whatever chapter you're finishing up. I feel like a lot of it has to do with some internal cycles, ways that you view yourself, ways that you talk to yourself, think about yourself. I feel like self-care is very emphasized, very important, very significant at the moment. I feel like you could have possibly gotten your skincare is significant, but your self-care to like an all-time high, like like your routine is on point is what I'm picking up on. But there you may feel like almost like a regression, like 3 steps forward, 1 step back, you know? It's like you made a lot of progress, but I'm getting this feeling of like overwhelm, of burnout, of honestly like imposter syndrome. I've been picking up on that a lot on my like TikTok channel recently. But I just feel like it's because yes, you're making a lot of progress, but I feel like you're still doing a little bit too much and there's a need for balance, for rest, for some compassion for yourself. I just feel like there's a big need to slow down. There's no rush, but for some reason, like all day, I've been picking up on this energy of feeling like you need to go faster, but there is no designated speed. There is no race. There is no place to meet. There is no competition to win. You know, there's just your path and your path alone that you need to focus on. And I feel like we all do, there's this sense of losing sight of the bigger picture of how life is about the whole experience, not the end goal. You know, the end goal is like, to be completely honest, non-existent. The end goal is death, to be real. Life is what you make of it. It's not this checkpoint that you hit. It's not this goal that you reach. It's the experience as a whole. Life is meant to be experienced, not meant to be taken so seriously. Or be put into some form of race or competition. You used to, you know, put others in a competition. Anywho, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go in with some tarot and just see what your current energy is at the moment. And then I'll go in with the Green Witch's Oracle as well. I feel like you're really changing perspectives on things. I've also been picking up on this quite a bit recently on my like TikTok channel. Seeing people in a different light, seeing people in a different way. I feel like taking the rose-colored lenses off of things. You could be a very nostalgic person and without realizing it, like accidentally romanticize the wrong people and the wrong things, or keep yourself stuck on the wrong people and the wrong things. But I feel like that's a lesson that you're learning, a lesson that, again, with this cycle that you're closing out, it's one of the lessons that you're learning in the process. And it's a heavy one. I feel like that's part of like this this purging energy, and like where I'm picking up on this energy of like you need to cry is because this is heavy and it hurts to realize that you could have been wrong, or that you could have been a little naive, or I have been picking up very, very heavily on like feeling stupid. And first of all, don't feel stupid. You're not stupid. Again, life is about the experience. This is a part of the experience. This is one of the lessons that you learned. If you didn't go through this, you wouldn't have learned this lesson. Now you are a smarter, wiser, better version of yourself because of it. Look at what you made. Look at what you did with it, you know? But it is heavy nonetheless. And your feelings are very valid. And they're meant to be felt, not analyzed. You can't get past anything if you don't allow yourself to feel it. You can't release anything if you don't let it pass, you know? If you're keeping it away from you, you're still in a way keeping it around because you're not allowing it to pass you by. But in order to allow it to pass you by, you have to feel it. You have to feel it, release it, let it go. So don't see this as a step back. See this as part of your progression. See it as part of the lesson. You're learning something that you couldn't comprehend before. And I feel like there needs to be some acknowledgement of inner growth and how much wiser you've gotten instead of closed-minded. Instead of being driven by your ego and blaming everybody else for everything, you took this chance to be like, okay, what can I change to make my life better? What can I do to create more ease? Give me 2 seconds. Forgiveness isn't just about forgiving the other person involved in a situation. It's also forgiving yourself for also allowing whatever transpired to transpire, for allowing yourself to be in that situation at all, you know? And I feel like there's just this sense of like holding a grudge, but not over the other people. It's like holding the grudge over yourself. It's like you're taking all the accountability almost, and you're not like leaving any left for anybody else. Anyways, I just feel like there's this big need to forgive yourself for not knowing what you know now, essentially, because that's all you can really forgive yourself for. There's nothing like outside of any actions that you feel like you need to hold yourself accountable for. You can't hold yourself accountable for things that transpired outside of your control. I just feel like there's this sense of taking all responsibility for something that is like very little your responsibility. You're just meant to experience it and learn from it and grow from it, let it go, move on from it, you know? Realize, like, just see how much you've grown in terms of your relationship with your intuition. The High Priestess is on the bottom. I feel like it's, again, confirmation of like seeing things clearly. You're strong enough to take off the lens now, and I feel like that's something to be proud about. I feel like there's just this need to perspective switch on what's going on right now because it's very overwhelming, and I completely understand that 100%. This is not a place of judgment. I'm here to get you out of that place of judgment because there's no need to judge yourself when you're just meant to allow yourself to feel this out and let it go so you can create space and allow space for new things. You're meant to start a new cycle very soon. Very soon, a new chapter is about to start for you, and it's going to be so beautiful. You're going to go from crying tears of like releasing and purging to crying tears of like joy and shock and excitement, like of just awe of you never thought that you would be there. You know, I just feel like there's this energy that you're meant to be in, but before you get there, we need to get out of this energy, you know, of you beating down on yourself a little bit too much about things that you can't change, you can't control. The only thing you can do is transmute. And I feel like you're being called to journal. I feel like journal is very significant. But anyhow, I should pull tarot because I keep saying that I'm going to. But I have a cat at my door. So give me a second. Alrighty. Let's pull some tarot before I start crying. Again, if you feel the need to cry, cry. Just let yourself feel whatever comes through. Allow it to pass. Don't hold on to it. Don't fuel the fire. Don't feed the ego and the negative thoughts. Just observe them, allow them to pass so that you can let them go and move on to like the better emotions. Not that these ones, because the emotions aren't bad. It's what you do with them, you know, and they're meant to show you something. And I feel like right now you're just meant to allow yourself to learn the lessons that these are meant to show you at the moment. Anywho, okay. Where's my selenite? Safety pins could be significant because I just picked one up when I picked up my selenite. Alrighty. Can you please tap me into this person's energy, to the person watching this? What is their current energy at the moment? You could be really working through some rejection wounds that could have left you, again, feeling very like out of control. I keep hearing demasculated. Is that the word? So you could resonate with being more in your like masculine energy, gender never specific, but overall, I just, again, in a period where you wanted control and you maybe even felt like you had it to a certain extent, I just feel like you were left feeling stupid or feeling like you look stupid, or just like, I feel like you could have always been surrounded by people who put up a really good front of liking you, but secretly being in competition behind your back, like with you behind your back, and not thinking the nicest things about you or saying the nicest things about you, but then showing you something completely different. So you were always having to read between the lines, it feels like, or like really overly observe people and analyze people and watch what you say. I feel like maybe you also could be having to forgive yourself in a sense for oversharing with people that maybe didn't deserve that information, shouldn't have had that information. Again, not that that is something that you need to forgive yourself for, but forgiveness is in order to help you let it go. At the end of the day, that's what it is meant to do for you. And I just feel like that is super relevant. There's just some rejection wounds, and I feel like there's just some people from your past where you really thought that like they could have really liked you, either in a romantic sense or a platonic sense, and then it just turned out to be like the complete opposite, or you thought people were one thing and then they turned out to be a completely other thing. Like, I just feel like you were left very confused a lot, and you had to find a lot of your own clarity and, like, again, read between the lines and really pick through situations. Ooh, dropping things everywhere. Yeah, you had some major cycles close out. The Ten of Pentacles. It fell in reverse on the floor with the King of Swords also on the floor, and the Five of Wands upright on my bed. You're sorting through a lot of conflict right now. Areas in your life where you've had to set up some really strong boundaries. But this King of Swords is giving me two separate energies. It's giving me that energy of sorting through, analyzing, looking at things from a more logical standpoint, from a more detached perspective, to learn more from it in terms of like things that caused a lot of conflict in your life. And like, really, this is giving foundation crumbling. I'm picturing the Tower. So this could have been some major friendships that fell apart, a major relationship that fell apart, some family dynamics that fell apart, whatever it may be. You're like sorting through it. But at the same time, this King of Swords is giving me the energy of when these foundations crumbled, when this conflict happened, this King of Swords is representing the discernment that you had to have in that moment and still have to have, and the boundaries that you had to set as well with those people. I heard strong boundaries. Yeah, because then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse peeking out in the middle of the deck. I feel like you're so familiar with evil eye. I feel like you're so familiar with people not liking you or secretly hating you that when people genuinely like you, it's like a shock to your system. It could genuinely make you emotional sometimes. I feel like you could be quite a stoic person because you've kind of had to be, you know? And I feel like the right people bring out a really, really soft side of you, and it takes the right people to see that side of you. Yeah, because it's all triggered from, at the end of the day, whatever evil eye, jealousy is being projected onto you. It's all from insecurity from the projector at the end of the day. You may be feeling some of this insecurity, almost feeling some stagnancy in your life, some delays, some obstacles going on. But again, I feel like it's because right now isn't for physical progression. It's for mental, emotional progression. It's meant right now is for you to slow down, feel your feelings before you take any next big steps, because I feel like you're about to have some really big steps to make, some really big choices to make. Bluey could also be significant because now my super comfy cozy PJ pants are showing. But can you please give me more on that energy, please? Queen of Cups. Exactly. You need to love yourself, give yourself some compassion, leave room for your emotions, and allow yourself to feel things out with no judgment. Allow yourself to have that compassion and empathy for yourself that you have so willingly for others. I feel like right now is a time meant for patience, creativity. I really feel like you're being called to write, to take this emotion and put it into something creative, turn it into something, create something out of it. Yeah. Two of Wands. I feel like you, again, I'm getting sorting, I'm getting planning. I feel like you are meant to slow down and reflect so that you can think about what you truly want in life and what next steps you do want to make. I just feel like this time in your life is meant for you to really be in the moment, be present with how things are making you feel, so that when these opportunities arise, because I feel like there's going to be multiple, like I was saying, I feel like there's going to be like a choice to make in some way, shape, or form, some big life choice to make, and you need to be in a good place with your intuition and not be clouded with unnecessary judgment or resentment or just cloudedness from past things getting in the way. I feel like right now is the time to feel out those past things, release those past things, so you can go into this clear-headed, so you can see things in a clear way, like you're seeing past things in a clear way at the moment. Okay, we're gonna go in with the Green Witch's Oracle just to get some extra confirmations here on your energy. The autumn time could be very significant. It could be your favorite season. That was a really bad shuffle. That was better. One more. Threes could be very significant for you. I'm also picturing like malls and more specifically like mall escalators at the moment. I don't know, that could be significant. You could have just gone to the mall. I have no idea. I was literally thinking about going to the mall today. That's so weird. Okay. Selenite, where have you gone? There it goes. I was sitting on it. It could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or that could just be heavy in your chart or significant in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, autumn card literally came out. And the fog. I feel like you're clearing this fog. You could be very overtired. I feel like you need to sleep. I don't know, that just feels significant. Because again, it just plays into that like burnout energy that I was picking up on. But you're coming to this, I'm seeing like a cliff. It's all foggy. And there's just this sense of uncertainty, having to trust that there's something there when you take that leap, you know? Because you can't see that anything is there. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. But right now you're finding a lot of balance in the fog. I feel like not forcing yourself to see things clearly, but allowing things to come to you. I feel, because I'm getting this energy of analyzing but not over analyzing. It's like you're allowing the epiphanies to just like come to you, and allowing the emotions that come with that to come with that. The feeling part is just a little bit harder than the observing and analyzing part. Finding comfort in the discomfort. I just think that's so weird. Okay, hold on. Ooh, sorry, I was going to catch that really fast because I thought it was going to fall. A words or names could be significant because we have two. Autumn and altar. I also love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. It's super beautiful. It's very homey, but I feel like there's this energy of not losing sight of what you're grateful for, even within the fog. Not losing sight of, I heard the unseen, but just not allowing yourself to forget about the good things, about the things that, like even in moments with the imposter syndrome where you don't feel like you belong anywhere, reminding yourself of the things that you have learned to like about yourself, that you have learned to admire about yourself, the things that you have grown on. Again, I was saying earlier, like there's this need to acknowledge yourself a little bit, to acknowledge that yes, this is a really heavy epiphany to have, but this is also an epiphany that you would have never had. You know, this is something that you have to give yourself credit for a little bit, because you've gotten yourself to a place where you're able to digest this and to have this perspective switch. And this isn't a perspective switch that's easy to have. That's why it's so heavy. It's why it's so emotionally draining, and why there's this big need to just give yourself compassion, give yourself patience, allow yourself to rest and not push yourself too hard. Allow things to just come to you. You're not meant to push yourself right now to, again, like progress. I feel like you're such a hard worker and you're such a go-getter and you have such big dreams and admirations, and that's so beautiful. But like, again, life is not about the end goal. Technically, there is no end goal. Life is just a continual experience until we die, you know? So don't waste your experience trying to get to a certain point. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. Mushroom recycling, breaking down problems. You're in this energy of releasing burdens, but not like finding balance in observing and feeling out your feelings, but also holding space for gratitude and seeing the blessings that you do have and the progression that you have made. Now, I want to see what blessings you are attracting in them. Actually, sorry, we are going to see that, but first I want to see how you're shining right now, because we saw how you're feeling, the energy that you're in. I want to see how you're shining right now. How are you shining? I'm going with the Light Seers Tarot. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Shining bright like a diamond. And then I've been, oh, it's one of my stems, I'm pretty sure, but I always hear like shiny from Moana. You're shiny. feel like even when you're going through a darker period and you're feeling your energy feels heavier, like you still shine so brightly and you just command every room that you walk into. I feel like you're so attractive, and not just in that like physical sense. Like you're like a magnet. I feel like everywhere you go, it's like you could go somewhere and it could be dead, and then like 5 minutes later you show up. Like 5 minutes after you show up, it gets super packed because your energy is just attractive. Your energy is just magnetic. It just draws people in. It makes whatever spot like the spot to be at. You are like, gender not specific, the baddest bitch, you know? Like, even when you feel like you're down bad, you're still the baddest, you know? And it just, I don't know. I feel like you're not seeing yourself completely clearly at the moment because of what you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what you're having to release. So I want to remind you, not just who your ego is telling you are, I'm here to remind you who you truly are. Okay. Can you please remind this person on who the F they are? How are they shining in the moment? Ace of Wands. You're super creative. You're super passionate. You could have like Aries in your chart or in your big three, but just like this passionate energy. You're very protective over yourself. You could have started meditating, or you could be called to start meditating. 7s are super significant. 7, 7. You're someone who is very heavily protected, first by your spirit team, and then also by yourself. And I also feel like the people who care about you are very, very, very protective over you, because I'm picking up on this energy, not of these wands trying to get in, but these wands keeping people out. And I'm picturing a person at every single one. So I feel like that there could be 7 very significant people in your life. These could even be 7 passed on loved ones, like 7 guardians that you kind of have around you. High Priestess again. You're super intuitive. You're like, I feel like people feel very seen by you. Like, you're someone I feel like it's hard to hold eye contact with, like her eyes are closed, and none of these people are like looking ahead, and all of their eyes kind of look closed except this person's looking down. You're someone who has a lot of options. Like I said, you have a lot of things coming in your way, a lot of opportunities, a lot of different avenues. I just heard you're going to have to make like a decision of some kind. Yeah, oh my gosh, the 2 of Wands came out again, sorry. And I literally was just talking about how you're going to have to like make some form of decision, plan accordingly. This isn't going to be something that you take like a leap. Let me think of how I want to phrase this. This isn't something that you're going to just like jump on. This is something that you're going to sit and you're going to think about, and you're going to like weigh out all the pros and cons. And there's going to be one thing that really stands out to you that you're going to end up going with. But also with this 2 of Wands, it's giving me the energy of you are a planner. People really view you as someone who has a lot of things going for them. Someone who could, I feel like you're someone that people can't like pin you down in a specific career. It's like they can't envision you doing one specific thing, because you're a very niche person. You're a very individualistic person. You're not somebody who can work the average 9 to 5. You're not somebody who can, you're just, I'm hearing otherworldly, but also very worldly. Like you're meant to travel. You're meant to experience. You're meant to be about and be free-spirited. I feel like people, you're hard to describe, but you're hard to pinpoint. You're hard to put in a box. You're meant to create your own, not even box, but your own path. You're also very mysterious with the Ace of Swords in reverse. How are you shining at the moment? Oh, Ace of Cups. You're very loving, very kind, again, very compassionate and very patient with people. You give off this energy of unconditional love, and it just like pours out of you, because not only do you embody it in terms of other people. Like you try really hard to project that kind of unconditional energy onto other people, that non-judgment energy onto other people. But it pours out of you so much and so easily because not only do you embody it within other people, but you also embody it just within yourself and how you view yourself. It's a conscious effort. It's not just something, yes, it's almost second nature to you now because of how much practice has gone into it, but it's still a practice nonetheless. Yeah, what you've it's like you don't look like what you've been through because you don't wear that chip on your shoulder. You don't have that woe is me mindset. You know that the pain that you felt is not the doing of other people that are in your energy now. Therefore, it's not their problem. It's not their fault. Therefore, you shouldn't be making it their problem, you know, projecting that onto them. You're somebody who keeps things very close to your chest, very under your sleeve, I just heard. You, again, I'm picking up a very like stoic poker face kind of energy where you're very emotional, but like behind closed doors. Your emotions and your feelings, you don't view as like other people's business necessarily, like unless it involves them. Like you'll confront situations when there's something to confront, but when you're emotional because of something from the past that doesn't involve other people, you don't like to involve other people in the processing of that. You just don't project it onto other people in general, like at all. You just bear it, is what I heard. You, that's something that you hold. You don't pass it on to other people. You don't make it other people's problem. You're not somebody who points the finger or passes the blame. You just like hold things. You hold a lot of space for things. You're very open-minded. Like you're very open-minded. You see so many different perspectives, and I'm picking up this energy that you've always been this way, where it's like you've never been able to just see one side. You've never been able to you have a hard time debating and being competitive about opinions and things like that because you see all opinions, and I feel like you've always felt like all opinions are valid opinions. Like you don't feel like you have a right to prove someone wrong, you know, because there is no proving wrong if it's just an opinion or a belief, or again, if it's something factual or if it's something that you need to confront with someone because it involves them and it's like hurting you or getting in the way of the connection, you will confront that. But if it has nothing to do with the connection or them, you'll just hold things on your own. You'll just deal with things on your own. You'll sit with them on your own. And you're very quiet. Like even your energy, you keep having to take these pauses because there's just a lot of silence. Like I feel like you're not someone who will say anything just to fill silence. You will only say things when it is of importance, and when I think people take what you say very seriously. People see you in a very regal light. You give queen or king like royal energy. Like whatever room you enter, you command that energy. And it's not that you demand it. Your energy commands it, you know? You're not an entitled person, but your energy is loud, and your energy like commands respect. Like people can't help but respect you and want to be on their best behavior around you. And I feel like that's why for so long you felt like you like get a different side to people, and then you have to like learn that they're not actually, like, that's not the authentic version of them, and it's like heartbreaking. But people feel like there's this level that they need to reach with you while you see yourself on no level. You're like, we're all on the same playing field here, guys. Like, I feel like you show up in an authentic way, but people, they have a hard time believing that your energy is authentic because of just how unconditionally you show up. I feel like, again, you're not expecting anything from anyone. You're not asking for anything. You don't need anything from anyone. And I feel like it confuses people. Like, you're not there for anything outside of an experience and the lesson that this experience has to offer at the end of the day. You're here to create, to manifest, to grow. And people really see you as like, as this manifestor, as this transmuter, as this person who's really created a lot of love and a lot of abundance out of a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and a lot of betrayal. I feel like people can maybe see it in your eyes a little bit. I feel like you could have like a resting sad face. Like your eyes could give like sad puppy dog eyes sometimes, even if you are smiling and like laughing. If you're going through a hard time, I think it shows through your eyes. I feel like, again, because your energy is so loud, it's hard for you to mask anything. People can read it. Okay, can you tap me into what they're attracting in, please? What are some things that they're attracting in? People do view you very highly, though. They view you almost in this, like, I'm picturing that like wizard in the woods that people go to when they need help, you know, like, because they're so wise, but also people are very intimidated by them because of the power that they hold and the mystery that they hold and the mystique that they have. Like, I feel like you're very mysterious, and because you no longer feel the silence, and you try really hard to no longer like overshare all the time with the wrong people, your silence speaks very loudly. Can you please tap me into what they're attracting in? What are you attracting in with this new chapter that they're stepping into? Eight of Wands rapidly stepping into. I feel like the second that you allow yourself to have this like full-on breakdown, allow yourself to crash out. Don't harm yourself or harm others, but allow yourself to have a big old fat cry. It could even be for like a couple hours, because I feel like there's just going to be like one thing that leads to another kind of epiphany, that leads to another kind of epiphany, and I feel like it's going to be overwhelming, but don't allow that to scare you. Don't allow that. Don't fight the overwhelm. Allow it to pass. Just observe and just let yourself cry. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't shame yourself. Don't resent yourself for this. Hold space for this pain and have patience while you feel this out, because it's going to hurt, but it's going to accelerate things. Like, it's literally going to, like, you're just gonna have this outburst like this. You're gonna feel so free and so light and so lifted. You're gonna have the best sleep of your life after this, and then the next day you're gonna feel like a whole new person again. And I feel like things are just gonna start flying. The second that you allow yourself to feel and release this conflict, whatever things you've been holding on to from the past that you've been like trying really hard to keep behind that closed door, keep in that box, keep stored in the back of your brain so you don't feel it, so you don't think about it, so it doesn't affect you, even though it really does affect you. This could have to do with friendships especially, but I feel like as you are closing out those cycles of just, I feel like whatever experiences you had from the past have really held you back from having new experiences with friends. I feel like you could be somebody who keeps yourself quite alone. I relate to that, so again, don't feel like I'm judging you. But I feel like you're somebody that could have, like, isolation is so much easier for you than like being around people now, because you have a hard time believing that like people are showing up as they say they are, or that people actually like you. But again, at the end of the day, what you're there for is your own experience. What they're projecting onto you is not your problem. If they're not meant to be in your life, they will not be in your life long term. I feel like there's this need to, again, like let go of the reins, let go of the control, and be in this acceptance of things are not meant to be forever. Things are meant to pass. And sometimes that's people, situations, environments, multiple different things. I feel like you're attracting in something that feels like home. Something that feels like you've experienced it before, but it's like deja vu, because it doesn't feel like you've experienced it in this lifetime, but it feels like something that is going to feel familiar, something that is going to feel like home, something that is going to feel right, something that is going to make you feel seen in the correct way, seen correctly, seen crystal clear. I feel like somebody's going to see you crystal clear, and this could be in terms of career, this could be in terms of finding your soul family, finding like a significant other in the form of a soulmate. That will differ between all of you, and for some of you it could be all of the above, where you experience an opportunity that leads to connections, that leads to other connections, that lead to other opportunities, and yada yada yada, that all feel very serendipitous, very divine, very meant to be. I just keep hearing home. It feels like home. It feels right. You're gonna be scared because it's gonna be overwhelming. Any change is overwhelming, but it's going to feel right, and you're going to just know. That's what I mean by like you're going to have a lot of different options, I feel like, but there's one that's just gonna be like the one, and you're just gonna know. And yes, you're still gonna be scared, but you're gonna be able to do it scared. And I really feel like this will have to do with career, maybe also people, but whatever career choice you make is going to lead to some major wish fulfillment. Six of Cups clarifies for me. What they're attracting, Knight of Swords. Somebody from the past could come back and communicate something with you. I have been picking up on this energy of clarifying something, clarifying a miscommunication. Can you clarify that for me? Yeah, somebody really wants to come in and enlighten you. I feel like untie you from something. There's something that really kept you in this Nine of Swords energy, and it's like this person, I feel like this is one of the things that you were currently releasing yourself from, but I feel like you could be getting some form of physical confirmation of this. Some form of physical clarity from this person. I have been also picking up on the energy of like a letter, a handwritten letter, or like a typed up letter. You're gonna have a lot to celebrate. I feel like you're going to have a lot of enlightenment come into your life. You could be going, I did mention a concert earlier. You could be going to a concert. That could be significant. That could be one of the things that you're attracting. You could want to be a musician. You could want to be a singer. You could have a good voice. You could be really talented, but again, have always been surrounded by the wrong people who project jealousy onto you instead of, supporting you and projecting growth and support onto you. They were like discouraging you and sabotaging you in a sense. And now that you don't have that noise discouraging you. That passion is coming back. Or could be coming back. You could get an opportunity in some form of musical, creative sense. I feel like you're going to be on the fence about it. I feel like, because again, you're going to have some just old fears that were instilled from the past. But I feel like you're going to hold strong boundaries, but go forward. I feel like you're going to move slowly and intentionally, but you're going to move forward in whatever creative sense. I really am picking up heavy music now, musician. Or you could dance, triple threat even. Ooh. This is hidden from you though. It's going to be like overnight, I'm hearing, because the moon just flipped out on the floor. But this is going to be moving like overnight. This, for a small few of you, you could post online and you could, something could go viral. 3-3 is very significant. But you're really going to be like stepping up in a sense, creating some form of position for yourself. I keep seeing some, like, I'm hearing leader, and I'm seeing you in some form of leadership position, but it's a position that you create yourself. It's not a position that is created for you. This is a success that is brought on by you. So you could start your own company, you could launch your own brand, you could just start something of your own, but it's going to be noticed. Prepare to be noticed. I feel like you're not too keen on that. Alrighty, can I just get some guidance for the person watching this just to end this? You have so many beautiful things coming in for you though. Just know and believe and know that you're worthy and that you are deserving of it. Don't allow the fears from the past to prevent you from moving forward, to keep you stagnant. Just focus on healing, focus on releasing what you're meant to release right now. You're not meant to hold on to whatever you're attracting. You're meant to focus on the things that are taking up the space from that, you know? Right now, I feel like your energy is very cluttered. There's a need to cleanse, to organize, to purge whatever is not serving you anymore, whatever is just hindering you and hurting you. I saw the sun. I saw the sun, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sun. I feel like you're receiving a lot of signs that are confirming these new beginnings to you. Just trust those signs. Trust that your spiritual growth is leading to some form of like answered prayer, some form of manifestation that you've wanted for a really long time. All right, I'm not picking up on anything else, so I'm gonna leave it there. As always, I hope that this resonated. If it did, let me know. I love hearing about that stuff. But yeah, don't hold on to anything. Just allow yourself to feel, to release, to move on from whatever has been kind of keeping you stuck in this cycle. Don't judge yourself or beat yourself up for feeling this. Just allow yourself to feel it. But anywho, I love you. Bye.